Welcome to the Bendano Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. Caitlin Clark will be missing one of these next two games as the Indiana Fever play a back-to-back, and Aliyah Boston will be missing one of these next two games as the Indiana Fever play a back-to-back. The writing is on the wall. This medical staff isn't competent. This coaching staff isn't competent. It is what it is. It is what it is. Minutes restriction, back-to-back, load manage, sit, Caitlin Clark missing one of these next two games, as well as Aliyah Boston.
Caitlin Clark just threw down the ultimate gauntlet. She didn't just question the coaching, she flat out refused to take the court. Imagine the face of the league telling Christy Sides that if Aliyah Boston is benched, she is staying in the locker room, too. This isn't just about a game anymore. It is a full-blown mutiny in Indiana. The tension in that facility has reached a breaking point that no one saw coming. It is a total standoff that has left the front office scrambling for answers, while the fans are left holding worthless tickets. The silence from the coaching staff says everything you need to know about who is really in control right now.
And now I'm going to have to say it all summer this year. Don't buy tickets to these games. You never know when they will pull some BS and sit their star player. If you pay to see Caitlin Clark, unfortunately, there's no guarantee this year that she is going to be playing. Let's get right into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. So, the first game is Seattle. Aliyah Boston listed as questionable. We know what
that is. They call it load management, but everyone with eyes knows it is something much darker. The Indiana Fever are trying to sell a story of rest and recovery, but the players aren't buying it. Caitlin Clark looks the cameras in the eye and says she feels great, yet the medical staff is pulling her name from the lineup. This is stat management at its absolute worst, and the players are finally starting to fight back against the puppet masters. When you have a generational talent like Clark, you don't bench her for no reason unless there is a hidden agenda at play. The organization is treating these world-class athletes like children who do not know their own bodies.
So, just like last back-to-back, where we flip-flopped, Caitlin Clark played against the Sparks, Aliyah Boston played against the Mercury, or vice versa, I can't remember. It's going to be the same thing this week. Caitlin Clark's going to play against Seattle. Aliyah Boston's going to play the game after that. Aliyah Boston, in case you guys didn't notice, she was on minutes restriction last night. Did any of the Indiana Fever stooges who sit there, hold their phone sideways, and record warm-ups, did any of them ask Stephanie White at the end of the game why Aliyah Boston was on minutes restriction? Of course not. Of course not. Why would they do such a crazy thing and ask why Aliyah Boston's on?
Aliyah Boston is being treated like a chess piece instead of a franchise cornerstone. One day, she is playing 38 minutes, and the next, she is suddenly listed as questionable for precautionary reasons. It makes zero sense to anyone who actually follows the game. The disconnect between the training room and the court is a massive red flag that suggests the Fever are intentionally sabotaging their own momentum. If Boston is healthy enough to dominate one night, why is she being ghosted the next? It feels like the coaching staff is terrified of what happens when these two actually find their rhythm together on the court.
Out tomorrow's game for precautionary reasons. In case you guys don't realize this, Chloe Peterson, she puts this tweet up and then she locks her replies so fans can't respond to her. It's not only the Indiana Fever that's soft, it's their beat reporters too. It's their reporters too and their journalists too. Scott Agnes, folks, we gave Scott Agnes so much shit over the last 2 years. He never blocked replies. He never locked his account. Chloe Peterson, if you can't handle the heat, go over to Blue Sky. Go over to Threads. Get out of here. I already saw Hank, the other guy.
There is a growing theory that this isn't about health at all, but about clearing the way for other players to pad their stats. Fans are pointing fingers at the coaching staff for prioritizing veteran players or even looking toward future draft picks like Raven Johnson. It looks like a complete sabotage job from the inside out. Why would you ever want to break up the chemistry between your two biggest stars right before the All-Star break? It is almost as if the organization is scared of winning too much, too soon. This isn't just bad coaching, it is a fundamental betrayal of the players and the people who paid to see them.
Posting more on Blue Sky and more on Threads because it's just so toxic over here on Twitter. Folks, Charmin, soft. Charmin, soft. From the top down. The Indiana Fever and everyone in this organization, Charmin, soft, right? If you're going to pull this crap again and sit out AB while Caitlin plays, at least start Timpson so she can pass to a big that can score. At some point, make a decision. Either she is healthy to play a full game, or she doesn't suit up. Watching this minutes restriction, load management horseshit doesn't cut it. Teddy Bear, I agree. Well, I guess it's another wait until 1 hour before game time if Caitlin is going to be in or out. It's hard for fans who plan out a trip not knowing if she's going.
Christy Sides reportedly didn't see this coming. She expected her players to just fall in line and follow the script provided by the front office. But when Caitlin Clark stood her ground, the entire power dynamic of the team shifted in an instant. Sides is now facing a locker room that doesn't trust her decisions or her medical staff. You can see the panic in the way the organization is handling the press. They aren't used to players who have this much leverage and aren't afraid to use it. This is a head coach who is losing the room faster than anyone anticipated, and the results on the court are clearly starting to show it.
But are both now being stat managed for Kelsey Mitchell, Mo Billings, and possibly Raven Johnson. This really seems to be a complete sabotage job now. They both say that they're fine. So you know what? They both need to put their foot down and stop being played by the Indiana Fever. They got to stop being controlled by the Indiana Fever. If you guys want to play 30 minutes, play 30 minutes. No, Caitlin Clark, sit this one out so you can play against the Liberty on CBS. So AB is out, and now you don't got a big to rely on. This is sabotaging at its finest. Here we go again, folks. This is just garbage. This is all garbage. This is all pathetic. This is all sad. Caitlin Clark.
It isn't just the team that is acting soft. It is the reporters who cover them, too. When the news of these benchings broke, beat reporters like Chloe Peterson immediately locked their replies on social media. They can't handle the heat from a fan base that is tired of being lied to. It is a pathetic display of cowardice from people who are supposed to be seeking the truth. Even veteran journalists are noticing that the WNBA media landscape is crumbling under the pressure of this new era. If you can't handle fans asking why the star players are sitting, you shouldn't be in the business of sports journalism in the first place.
This is all garbage. This is all pathetic. This is all sad. Caitlin Clark at the post-game says she wants to play full minutes, and here we are. We're getting ready to sit her on the back end of a back-to-back. Aliyah Boston sitting out tomorrow. Caitlin Clark will sit out the game after. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. And this person brings up a good point. Kelsey Mitchell's body literally broke down on her last season. Why isn't Stephanie White giving her load management? Because we're giving everybody else stat management. Right? AB 38 minutes, one game. CC doesn't. Yeah, these people are weird. They're weird. They're a bunch of weirdos. They're a bunch of weirdos. It's less.
From the very top down, the Indiana Fever organization is being labeled as Charmin soft. They are avoiding the hard questions and hiding behind vague medical reports that nobody believes. When you have players like Clark and Boston saying they are ready to go, but the team forces them to sit, it creates a toxic environment. It is a level of mismanagement that would never be tolerated in any other professional league. The fans are being treated like they don't deserve a voice, and the players are being treated like property rather than professionals. This culture of avoidance is going to destroy the team's reputation for years to come.
And yet another example of the WNBA not being ready for prime time. Why are the comments closed on this? Good Lord, this is just getting insane. This is the same as saying, hey fans, it's your fault, you're not happy as a consumer, and you don't deserve a voice. This league was not ready for the call up to the big leagues. Rhodes said, let me guess, it's hateful to point this out. I responded, it's not only hateful, Rhodes, but it's misogynistic and racist. And for you not to understand the intersectionalities of it all, a damn shame, right? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This gimmick is stupid. They know it's horse shit. People are.
Caitlin Clark didn't stutter when she was asked how she felt. She told the press she was good and ready to play full minutes. There was no hesitation in her voice, only a clear desire to be on the court with her teammates. When a player gives an answer that direct, and the team still lists them as out, it exposes the massive lie being told to the public. It makes the coaching staff look like they are actively working against their best asset. Clark came to this league to compete, not to sit on a bench and watch her team struggle while she feels perfectly fine. The fans deserve to see that fire on the court. This is starting to feel less like sports and more like a legal issue for the fans. People are spending thousands of dollars on tickets, flights, and hotels just to see Caitlin Clark play. When the team pulls this load management stunt an hour before tip-off, it is a slap in the face to the consumer. There is no guarantee anymore that the stars you paid to see will even suit up. This kind of bait-and-switch behavior is exactly why people are calling for the league to take action. You can't market a player as the face of the league and then hide her away whenever you feel like it. It is dishonest and wrong. The excuse of a back-to-back schedule is completely hollow. These are elite athletes in their prime, not retirees. To say they can't play 2 games in a row is an insult to their conditioning and their competitive spirit. Other players in the league are logging heavy minutes without these ridiculous restrictions. Why is it only the Fever's top stars who are being treated like they are made of glass? It feels like a convenient excuse to manipulate the roster and limit the impact of the younger stars. The fans see right through it, and clearly the players are starting to see through it, too. It is a total joke. The tension between the players and the front office is becoming impossible to hide. Sources are whispering about heated exchanges behind closed doors regarding these playing time restrictions. When you have your 2 best players bonding over their shared frustration, you have the recipe for a total locker room revolt. Caitlin and Aliyah aren't just teammates, they are the future of the franchise, and they are being pushed to their limits by incompetent management. This isn't a small disagreement. It is a fundamental clash of values between those who want to win and those who want to control the narrative. People are looking at other coaches like Stephanie White and wondering why they can't find that same level of professional leadership. The way other teams manage their stars is night and day compared to the chaos in Indiana. There is a sense that the Fever organization is stuck in a minor league mindset while playing on a major league stage. They weren't ready for the spotlight that Caitlin Clark brought with her, and they are failing the test every single day. The lack of accountability for the coaching staff is the biggest hurdle standing in the way of this team's success. It is past time for a change. Let's talk about the real reason behind these benchings: stat management. It is becoming increasingly obvious that the team is trying to force-feed minutes to certain veterans at the expense of the rookies. They are terrified that if Caitlin and Aliyah play together too much, they will completely overshadow the rest of the roster. By splitting their minutes and sitting them on alternating nights, the coaching staff is trying to maintain a hierarchy that no longer exists. It is a desperate attempt to keep the old guard relevant while the new era is knocking down the door. It is pathetic and transparent. The timing of this rest is the most ridiculous part of the whole story. They are trying to rest players right before a week-long all-star vacation. These athletes are about to have a massive break to recover and recharge, yet the team is insisting on benching them now. It makes the precautionary argument look like a total joke. If they needed rest, the break is right around the corner. Benching them for these final crucial games is a tactical disaster that hurts the team's playoff chances and alienates the fans. There is absolutely no logical justification for this decision other than pure organizational sabotage. The fact that team representatives are fleeing to platforms like Blue Sky and Threads just to avoid criticism is telling. They know the fan base is right, and they can't defend the indefensible. It is a culture of thin skin that starts at the top and trickles down to every level of the organization. Instead of addressing the concerns of the people who keep the league afloat, they are choosing to hide in echo chambers. This lack of transparency is only fueling the fire and making the fans even more determined to hold them accountable. You can't run a professional sports team like a private club. Every time a fan or a commentator points out these obvious flaws, the organization tries to hide behind labels. They claim that criticism of their management style is somehow hateful or rooted in something other than basketball. It is a cheap tactic used to deflect from their own incompetence. The fans aren't being hateful, they are being observant. They want to see the best players on the court, and they want to see the team that is trying to win. When you fail at both of those things, you deserve to be criticized, regardless of who you are or what organization you represent. It is about the game. Caitlin Clark is realizing that she has more power than anyone in that building. She is the reason the arenas are full and the TV ratings are through the roof. If she decides she isn't going to play along with these games, the team has no choice but to listen. Her refusal to take the court without her primary big is a statement of solidarity and a demand for respect. She is tired of being jerked around by people who don't understand the game as well as she does. This is the moment the rookie officially became the leader of the franchise, whether the coach likes it or not. The power has shifted. The medical staff's credibility is currently at an all-time low. When players are telling the media they are 100% healthy, but the training staff says otherwise, someone is lying. It creates a dangerous environment where players might start hiding real injuries because they don't trust the staff to handle them correctly. This precautionary era of management is actually putting the players at more risk by creating a disconnect between how they feel and how they are treated. The Fever need a complete overhaul of their health and performance department before they ruin their stars' careers forever. You cannot build a winning team when your two best players are constantly being separated. Chemistry is built through reps and game time experience, especially for a young duo like Clark and Boston. Every game they spend on the bench is a wasted opportunity to grow and learn each other's tendencies. The coaching staff is literally stunting the growth of their own franchise by playing these games. It is a short-sighted strategy that might save a few minutes of load, but will cost them years of potential dominance. This is how you lose a generational opportunity to build a dynasty in this league. Think about the young girls who saved up their money to see Caitlin Clark for the first time. They show up to the arena, only to find out she is sitting on the bench for precautionary reasons. That is how you lose a generation of fans. The WNBA is in a growth phase, and this kind of behavior is a massive setback. You have to deliver on the promise you make to the public. If you advertise a star, you play that star unless she is physically unable to walk. The Fever are acting like they don't understand the basic business of sports, and it is painful to watch this unfold in real time. The Indiana Fever are currently a joke in the eyes of many league insiders. The mismanagement is so blatant that it is becoming a distraction for the entire league. From the coaching to the PR to the medical staff, there isn't a single department that seems to be functioning at a high level. It is a bunch of ill-prepared individuals who are in way over their heads. If the ownership doesn't step in soon and make some major changes, this season is going to be remembered as one of the biggest wasted opportunities in sports history. The clock is ticking on their credibility and their future success. What is the end game here? Are they trying to tank for another pick? Are they trying to protect the egos of veteran players? Whatever the goal is, it isn't winning basketball games. The sabotage feels real because no logical person would make these decisions if they actually wanted to win. They are handicapping their own roster and frustrating their best players for reasons that remain hidden from the public. It is a dark cloud hanging over the franchise, and until someone tells the truth, the speculation and the anger from the fans will only continue to grow. We need real answers now. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston are the ones who have to live with the results on the court. They are the ones putting in the work and facing the pressure. When they finally decide to stop being controlled by an organization that doesn't have their best interests at heart, the entire league will shift. This standoff is just the beginning of a much larger battle for the soul of the Indiana Fever. Whether Christie's sides can handle the heat or not, the truth is coming out. These players are ready to lead, and it is time for the organization to either get behind them or get out of the way.